Shadows whisper when the lights go dim. Cold breath crawling on my skin. Voices echo from the other side. Is it real or just my mind? Things paranormal talks in the dark. Secrets buried leave a burning mark. We interview the dead, we debate the unknown. Chasing shadows where the seeds are sown. Fingers tapping on a Ouija board. Broken silence like a shattered chord. Eerie hums in the dead of night. Is it true?
Well, hello and good evening.
Good evening, good evening. There we are again.
Yes, we are back. I will put everything ready. I shared out also in a small amount of time, and the comments are on. So
Nice.
everything is ready. How are you?
Melting.
Yeah, it's the same here. Absolutely.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. How about you?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I have the van on and I'm still sweating.
Yeah,
But
I know that.
that's not why we're here. We're not here to complain. Or we're two goofballs who wants to learn more about the paranormal, and we talk
Yep.
about the paranormal to a lot of people. And I sent Nick Muley on a mission. I do it every time when he goes to an event, and he gets two tasks: one, to say hello to former guests, and two, if I spot a new one who I want to target, he needs to ask. Poor Nick.
That's why we love Nick. No, we love Nick because of everything else.
Yes, and this time he brought in for us a very special guest. I was a bit nervous, a little bit, because the people who know more about the paranormal know it's a well familiar name.
Yep.
For the listeners, you might have seen him on Paranormal Court on camera. He done a lot of things behind the screens. I heard a lady who went on an investigation with him in the UK. So
Yep.
who we have on the back.
We have in backstage Brian J. Cano.
Hey guys, how are you?
Very good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I got to tell you, as far as all the shows and podcasts I've been on, your theme song has me raring to go. It's probably the best one I'm energetic. Let's do this.
Thanks so much. Yeah, we have a problem. Every time it stops, we're still. Oh, wait.
I know it's like gonna hunt some ghosts.
He made it himself. So
Well done.
yeah,
Thank you.
it is. It is. It's one of the best I've heard in years. So
Yeah, I'm very proud. I'm very proud of it, and I got it in my song list now. So every time it's on, I'm like,
if my phone rings, it's on.
Get that up on Spotify now. Make it happen.
I have to try that. Yes, definitely.
Yes, you have to do it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And the other one as well, which you made for Willow. So you're gonna be famous.
I hope so. No, I don't want to. I don't want to be famous.
But
No.
the podcast is not about us, but
Nope.
all about our guests. And for our Spotify listeners, and hopefully soon some other streaming abilities, because Shane is working on it. Can you introduce yourself and tell everyone what you're doing?
My name is Brian J. Cano. For the past 23 years, I've been a paranormal researcher. Lately, with a focus in parapsychology, I've been fortunate enough to be on television on shows like Haunted Collector with John Zaffis, The Unexplained with William Shatner, The Secret of Oak Island Drilling Down. I've gotten to speak, lecture, and hunt all over the world: Australia, the UK, places in between. I've been to Stonehenge, the Bermuda Triangle, and New Jersey. So this is my life. It wasn't planned this way. I didn't realize I would be doing this at this age or at all, but I'm count myself very fortunate to be still doing it, and people are still interested in things I have to say.
Yeah, sure am.
Absolutely.
Definitely, yes.
Absolutely. I live on the wrong side of our planet.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I'd argue with that these days, but I think we're all this global, very tight-knit community that, despite international borders and differences of time, we all speak this language, and we all
Yep.
have this. It's to some it's a hobby, to some it's more than that. It's a calling. We're all looking for answers. We're all crawling around in the dark, and it's when you find a kindred spirit like that, it transcends language.
Oh yes, it does. So it definitely does. That's
Yeah.
exactly why I love doing this podcast. I get to meet so many
Yes,
people, and we're all alike.
exactly. And the problem I had before we got this idea was all those TikTok urbexers, and I love those pictures. I love those abandoned buildings. Nothing wrong with that, but they buy some gear and calling themselves paranormal investigators with their cat
Yep.
balls and assuming they are talking to spirits, not looking at anything to debunk it. And I told Shane, let's do this and let's jump in the shoes of stupid urbexers who don't know what the paranormal is and ask anything there to anyone, their opinions, their views, what they think about equipment, because there's so much more to the paranormal as a few cat balls, a K2 meter, an EMF meter, and a camera.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely, and it's interesting because this is one of the few areas of interest that you could watch a TV show and then go run out and do it the next day. Now, I'm not saying you should, and I'm not saying that's a good idea, but no one ever watches a police drama or a medical show and goes, "Oh, guys, let's start a vigilante group. Let's start rounding up people and putting them in jail. I'm going to operate on someone tomorrow. I just want to help." But with the paranormal, yeah, there's a lot of people who take the shows and take those things and just instantly jump on board and say, "Oh, I want to do this too." And with those prior examples, doctor, lawyer, police, law enforcement, you can't just do. You need training. You need an understanding of what it is you're doing. And for all the good-natured and well-meaning people out there who are trying to help others through this, I would say, who do you think you're helping? Get a foundation first, get some education, get some training, and then back off, because until that happens, you're not helping anyone.
No, you're making it worse. For most people, you're trying to help. You're going to make it worse.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've seen some clips on YouTube, and they went in people's homes. That's a no-go for me because of their privacy. But if they got permission, whatever, and they hear a noise and they're claiming it's so sorry, a demon or a malevolent entity or whatever. And most of the time it's creaking of the stairs or some plumbing or whatever. They do more harm than they help.
Absolutely. It's very much a monkey see, monkey do vocation. And that's why I've spent a good portion of my time, and especially within the last 10, 15 years, just focused on education. Because if I can bring a deeper understanding or just a basic foundation of the paranormal to those people who are going to do it, whether we tell them not to or not, then we can get a deeper, more educated community, and we all rise together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
I see many people go to cemeteries, and a graveyard. Is every cemetery haunted? I'm
I always stayed away from cemeteries,
Yeah,
mainly because of the respect issue. Rest in peace. You can't rest if you've got black shirts running around going, "Who's here? Show us your sign." No.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, that being said, I don't believe that spirits are going to be hanging out with their mortal remains. Caveat to this is, well, why are things cited in graveyards and cemetery? Why do we get EVP? Why are there things that seem to be lingering around? Well, they're there because we're there. If you are there looking for them, that's where they will show up. And we live on a haunted planet, so be it a cemetery, the supermarkets, your house,
Mhm.
they're everywhere.
They are. People seem to forget that one day, one way or another.
yeah. It does. If I think about it, it's so peaceful and quiet in my home, and I live on war ground, and I don't need to think about it. This place being haunted. Oh my God. It's peaceful and quiet. It is. It is.
Talking about everything is haunted. Brian, how did you roll into the paranormal in the first place? Because it's not something you do every day.
It was I honestly, I just fell into it. When I was young, yes, I was very interested in the topic. I loved watching television programs like In Search of with Leonard Nimoy and other programs of that type. But when you get older, when you go to school or university, as you do, you are taught to fit into the system. You are prepared, it's some better than others, to enter the machine that is our world. Get a job, pay your taxes, don't make waves. And in those college years, I found myself very skeptical. I didn't really believe in anything. I was raised Catholic. I found myself having a crisis of faith, and I said, "Oh, yeah, there's nothing. We die, and that is it." And it just so happened that some friends and I who enjoyed filming comedy sketches and short films and little movies of our own, the next project we leaned into was a paranormal one. And it was mostly urban exploration. But here in my hometown of Staten Island, New York, there's a lot of abandoned buildings, a lot of abandoned hospitals. Little known fact, tuberculosis was cured on Staten Island. It was one of the first places to actually turn the tide of that malady. And all the hospitals, all the treatment centers that were just housing patients and keeping them comfortable, they no longer needed to do that because they could treat them and discharge them. But now you have these big buildings that they couldn't fund, there was no use for them, they went abandoned. And anytime you get an abandoned building, sooner or later, you will start to hear about the ghost stories. Nature comes back in and reclaims the building. You hear tales of ritualistic occurrences there. You hear about the screams, you hear about the howls, you hear all the urban legends. And we've got plenty of those on Staten Island. So my friends and I figured, okay, if these places are as haunted as everyone says they are, we should be able to go in with a camera, ourselves, our wits, our five senses, and our friends, and document something. And it was called Scared on Staten Island. Those first few episodes are quite unwatchable. It's shaky cam, and it's us looking around. And uh, I wrote about this in my book. The very first investigation we went on, the very first adventure I had there, I was so scared to be on my own out there in the forest that you try to cope with fear with logic. At least I do. And I'm holding the camera. I'm narrating. I think I was reciting the script to the Spider-Man movie, the 2001 Spider-Man movie, and I'm just talking to make myself feel better. And I look down on the ground. It was my task. It was a challenge. I had to find the basketball courts because this was where allegedly some satanic activity would take place. And I looked down. I found the basketball courts. They were overgrown. There were chalk outlines of pentagrams hastily drawn. You saw evidence of some candles having been burned out. And I'm thinking, oh no, here I am. I'm in the middle of a ritual ground. And I look down and I see something written in white. It might have been spray paint. It might have been chalk on the ground. And it's a word. I'm like, oh, what is this? Okay. And you can hear me. I'm breathing hard. I'm like, and it was an August day in New York, so it was very hot, even at night. I'm scared. I'm sweating. I look down and I say, oh, this must have been something with the incantation for the ritual. I think it says Morique. Oh, I think that's Latin or something. We wrap up the investigation. We go back to the edit room. My buddy Chris, who was editing it together, he starts laughing. I said, what's so funny? He goes, dude, look, it says Monique in cursive. It's just some girl had tagged her name on there, just wrote her name on the ground as people do. But again, I was so scared and I was so plugged into there's going to be something here that everything that presented itself, I worked into that narrative. And it was a lesson that I've always taken with me from that day forward, that not everything is the paranormal. Fear changes your perspective.
Oh, yeah.
And don't investigate outside in New York in August.
I don't have to. I sweat every time. Doesn't matter.
The older I get, the more I sweat. I can't take it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's something to do with age, because I have it as well. Oh my God.
No, I think everybody would have that with his first investigation, I think. Because I can remember my first time, I didn't even dare to go into a building. I was like, no. That looks big, that looks dark. I'm not going in.
From
outside.
That point on, I would always challenge myself on the subsequent missions we'd go on. If I was by myself, if I'm in a tunnel or a wing of a building and I'm alone, I would try to just sit down, close my eyes, and just realize, okay, I'm alone, but I'm okay. There's no need to be afraid. And if anything, I'm more afraid of the living than the dead. And a lot of the abandoned buildings that we would go into, sometimes there'd be homeless people, there would be crackheads that, again, were more frightened by us than of anything else. But we got lucky. It could have gone the other way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we have those a lot here as well, especially the crackheads.
Mm.
And they are scary.
Absolutely.
That's my motto. The living scare me more than the dead.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. You wrote a book, and can you tell us something more about what you wrote about?
Oh, you mean my book, Grains of Sand, Tales of a Paranormal Life?
Yeah.
Yes. It took a long time to get out. I have colleagues that are cranking out books every 2 weeks, and God bless them. They've got a focus that I just don't have. I went to college for English. I minored in psychology. I wanted to write. I thought I would write fiction, maybe make some believable characters, some interesting storylines. That didn't happen. But I always felt I've got to write a book. I need to write a book. I've been on the big screen in movies. I've been on the small screen in TV. I've been on the stage in plays. I've kind of checked all the boxes, like doing all the things. I've made a card game. I've had a podcast. I've got a team. What else is left? All the while, in the corner of my mind, I'm like, you still haven't written that book. Oh, still haven't written that book. And for me, I think the problem was, what do I write about? Do I write a manual on process? Well, who am I to tell somebody what to do? What does my opinion matter? It seemed too full of myself. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Well, maybe I could write about a haunted location. Well, that's someone else's story. Let them write that. And I would agonize. I would start. I would stop. I would start. I would throw it away. And one day, my manager gave me a piece of advice. She goes, Brian, I hear you talking to people at conventions and events. You've got a lot of stories. Just tell your stories. And just boom, the light bulb went on. I said, oh, yeah, there's things that have happened to me that only I can tell. So I got out a Post-it pad, and on each one, I said, okay, there's the Lizzie Borden story. Let me tell you that. Oh, there's that time we went to the Grand Midway. I got to talk about that. Oh, there was that time with Morique and the St. Augustine's Monastery. I got to talk about that. And I ended up having all these Post-it notes, each one a different story, each one a different chapter. And they're all about things in the paranormal that at the time I wasn't ready to receive the message. I didn't understand the lesson until I went through it. And upon reflection, I gained the knowledge that was there. So my book, Grains of Sand, Tales of Paranormal Life, there's some scary stories in there. There's some weird stories, but they're all hopeful. And to me, that's what the paranormal is about. It's not about demons and death and dying, and while that's a part of it, it's about us and who we are and the journey that we're on right this very moment.
Wow. Is it available everywhere or just on Kindle, Amazon?
It's on Amazon and on all the platforms in all the countries. I do believe there is a Kindle version.
I need to read
Perfect.
again.
We will look up the links and put it out
Yep.
for you if people are interested.
Yes,
in-
please.
Definitely will.
Yes, I will. Always do.
It's that's the thing. Since it's my stories, it's a very personal book, and I don't know what is expected. But if you go onto Amazon, you look at the reviews; they're generally good. But somebody, I think, gave me 2 stars or 3 stars, and they said, "Oh, I thought he was going to talk more about the paranormal. Oh, he didn't prove anything." And I said, "Did you see the title? Tales of a Paranormal Life." Not Brian proves the paranormal. Just talking about things that happened to me. And anyone who goes in expecting, well, he's going to reveal everything, that book doesn't exist. It hasn't been written yet. We don't understand everything. And all we can do is really take our personal perspective and say, okay, how do I fit into this? Yeah. And that 3 stars brought down the whole average, and I was pissed for a month. But
I can understand why. But I don't understand how people will expect you to prove something in a book, for one, and to prove something that nobody else has ever proven completely.
Yeah,
on video.
And that's the thing. Okay, when, like I mentioned, when I came out of college, I was very much a skeptic, and it took me a long time. It took me all these years, little by little, and that's why the book is called Grains of Sand, because each one of those experiences was a grain of sand. And by itself, a grain doesn't seem like much. I would drop them at my feet. And eventually, over time, I looked down, and metaphorically speaking, I was standing on a beach made up of all those grains of sand. And I had to consider what that meant. But I can understand the skeptical viewpoint of those people out there right now who are like, oh, we should prove it, or by now we should have enough evidence. I was on a TikTok live with the guy who plays Coach on Letterkenny. And he's like, oh, yeah, man, ghosts, what's with that? And I said, I've got some insight on that. And he goes, oh, I don't believe in that. I'm skeptical. If you could show me, I said, if you'd like to come on an investigation with me, I would love for you to have an experience, because I can't make anyone believe, but I can set it up to allow yourself to discover this. Everyone does it at their own pace. And on this TikTok live, there's people like, oh yeah, show him, prove it. And it turned on me. I said, yeah, come on investigation. He's like, oh, I would love to, but oh, come on, man. Like, none of it's real. I said, no, but really it is. He goes, well, can you prove it to me now? I said, here on TikTok? He goes, oh, well, if you can't prove it to me now, then I don't know. And I said, there's no way I could prove it to you now. No. And if we could, give me your credit card number.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. Yeah, I don't get people like that.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm looking up the link for Amazon for your book, and I posted it in the comments. So
Thank you.
I've got it.
Called grants consent.
Oh,
That's
I have
each one of
some.
those experiences.
Sounds still on.
Yes, typical me. So it's going in there. Let me see if I can post any comments.
A little bit of book admin right here coming at you. The link is going to hit in all of you watching and in the chat room and listening.
Before the end. Before the
Please
end.
pick it up. Check it out. I can't
Yeah.
prove the paranormal, but we're working on it. But that's the thing. All the experiences brought me from being a skeptic to a skeptical believer. I know the phenomenon exists. I know it's out there. We just don't understand it. And every tale shows me a little something different that had I not gone through that myself, some people will do it very quickly, or some people were raised with it and understand already, or at least are open to it. I had to do it on my own. I had to make my own way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a skeptical believer myself. I have to disprove everything until I can't disprove anything anymore. And then I'm starting to believe.
Well, like my favorite fictional consulting detective would posit, once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It is what it is.
And these days, that would have to even be modified, because there's the known unknowns and the unknown unknowns, and that, okay, yes, we've eliminated everything we can think of. That doesn't mean there's something we haven't considered that could be an explanation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it makes it too difficult, so we're probably not going to do that.
It's too hard. Too hard.
Yeah. I never talk about it might be paranormal. I always consider it interesting because I can't explain it. And if other people say, yeah, it's paranormal, okay, that's your opinion. I think it's interesting. Yeah.
It's very much, it was something that I call water in the glass. Now, the age-old question, is the glass half full or half empty? And some will say it's half full, some will say it's half empty, depending on their personal perspective. Others will say, well, you could put vodka in it, and they're alcoholics. You could say it's both. There's air molecules and water molecules in it, and so it's a trick question. And then there are those who will say, well, it depends. And I'm like, yes, it depends. Now, when I give this example to people, I say this is the perfect encapsulation of the paranormal reality that we live. You go on an investigation and you hear, boom, this big sound in the other room. To some, they'll say, oh, it's old man Johnson. Oh, he's haunting this place. Others will say, well, maybe something fell over. There might be someone standing in the doorway who can actually see that maybe something fell in the other room. And they go, oh, I can see. I have a different perspective. Yes, something fell over in there. But our different perspectives aside, in a situation like that, the only thing that we can all agree upon is that we heard a sound. That is the only truth to be gleaned from that situation. And in the paranormal and how it relates to water in the glass, half full, half empty, what is the truth there if it's perspective based? The only truth you can come away with is there's water in the glass. And anyone who's trying to jump to, it's a demon, or, it's a lost little boy, we don't know this. But did we hear something? Yes. That's what we need to take away and focus on. Everything else is flavor text that we're putting on it to make ourselves feel better, like we're further along in the story than we really are. And I would rather a boring truth than a fabulous lie.
Exactly. Same.
Yeah. How do you classify residential sounds with active sounds?
With which sounds?
Residual.
Residual.
Sounds with,
oh my God.
intelligent.
I'm sorry.
Oh, residential sounds? Yes, I have very noisy neighbors. I get plenty of residential
Me too,
sounds.
me too.
You're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear that.
Excuse. My
Um,
brains are boiling.
so residual sounds versus what? I didn't get the second half.
Intelligence, sounds, communications.
It's an important distinction. Residual versus intelligence, ghost versus spirits. I believe it's very important that we start using, hey, Nick, we start using the same definitions, the same words, the lexicon of the paranormal. There's a lot of different rule books out there, and I feel that, I mean, just as with any other language, certain words here are bad words over there, and vice versa, and we have to, in the paranormal, start using them the same way. Personally, what I've been using recently, well, in the past decade, ghost is the echo. Ghost is the residual. So you can perceive it, you can measure it, you can observe it. You can't interact with it because there's nothing to interact with. In the same way that the song on the radio isn't that band inside your device. You can't say, hey, can you play a different song? No, it's the echo of what was. The intelligent spirit, and that's why I use the word spirit. Yes, that is a living, interactive thing. We are all spirit in a meat suit. We're in a body. So when you encounter spirits at a location, yeah, you can ask it questions. You can get that EVP. You can get it with residual, but you're not going to talk to it. You're not going to get any answers from it because it's just going to keep playing the same thing again and again. But residual is also more fixed. If you see that specific figure coming down the stairway every 3 a.m. on the third Friday of every month, well, yeah, that's timed. It's residual. It's just going to keep happening. But an intelligent spirit, like us, has free will and can go where it chooses, pop in, pop out, visit, maybe leave. I'm not a believer in fixed hauntings that, yes, this man is always there in that corner and he'll always be there. It tends to be a tourist thing that places use to continue to get people to come. And I said, yeah, hey, look, even if we don't experience them, I'll still come to your place because of the history and the things that can be taught here. But anytime a place says, yes, these are our spirits, I'm like, I thought we stopped owning people a couple of 100 years ago. I don't know. It's just me.
Did you ever get a reaction about that?
Getting political here on the podcast.
I wouldn't dare.
I don't want to get political on a foreign podcast, especially given the politics happening here at home. We're staying far away from that one today.
It's the same crap over here. Oh my God. You made me laugh so hard.
We've got the best ghosts.
Yeah, I keep hearing those as well. Yeah, a couple of different buildings, and you're like, yeah, right. First seeing is believing.
Exactly, and we talk about it with Adam Kimmel previous. Domestic hauntings and foreign hauntings, that everyone can bring to a haunted location a spirit, and it doesn't belong there, but if it likes it, it might stay there. So every time it's a surprise who's there, and they also learn the intelligence. If we are asking, is Brian here? And some spirits is funny and things. Oh, if I say I'm Brian, they talk to me. So, what's your opinion about that?
See, this also depends on exactly what we are actually interacting with. You go on a ghost hunt, you're assuming we're going to be speaking to the dead. Now, what if we're just coming to a place that has a certain distortion of space-time, that maybe the connection between two parallel dimensions are very close. The brains, the membranes, such as it is, are so close that we're seeing a window or a portal into a neighboring universe. They're alive over there. Maybe they see us and they think we're ghosts. Well, we're alive over here. We may not be speaking to the dead. When you consider, let's take NHIs, non-human intelligences. We talk about aliens. If they are higher dimensional beings, higher meaning, okay, they vibrate at a higher frequency, they may not have need for bodies like we do. Maybe they exist ethereally. We could be speaking to aliens. The angels and demons of our religious texts could have been first contact with beings from elsewhere. But it's just the first person who pens it, the first person who writes it down gets to create that story. Now, as far as like, all right, let's take all that out of the equation. And all right, if we're just talking about spirit, unless, yes, we are talking about those who have passed on, it comes back again to ghost versus spirit. You talk to a ghost, you're not really talking to a ghost, you're talking at a ghost. You're talking at that residual, and any communication that comes up with to you, you're trying to make sense, but it might not, because, all right, they're not really talking to you. Conversely, when you're speaking to spirit, they still might not be talking to you because they might be having their own conversations. I've had instances where we were almost eavesdropping on higher level conversations that we were like, this doesn't make sense. Why would they say this to us? Well, they weren't, because we just happened to be like, it was like opening a door and listening to someone's conversation in the next room. Yes, we could hear it, has nothing to do with us. Transient spirit, yeah, just like you are in that place that evening through free will, you chose to be there. Or maybe you brought a hitchhiker with you saying, hey, you know, Brian's always going to interesting places. I'm going to follow him because I might meet other spirits there, or I might get to check this out, or just the energy that you bring with you. And half the time on public ghost hunts, sometimes I'll do a pendulum session, and I almost never get anything about the place I'm in. I'll get messages for the people who are there. Those people weren't there the day before. Those people were there because I was there. And now spirit knows that. They're like, I need you to give a message to this person. It's delivered. Yeah, that would have been great if they didn't have to travel hundreds of miles to get it, but you're here, they're here. This convocation of coincidences or intentions made that happen. And I always tell people, I say, yeah, look, there will never be a night like tonight because you're here, I'm here. It's going to unlock something unique because this situation is unique.
That is cool. I like that.
Makes sense. It really makes sense. Yeah.
It does. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And it's pretty basic. Like once you start thinking in those ways, it's not hard to understand. I mean, I'm definitely not bringing any information off the mountain that was hidden. It's just kind of a little bit of common sense that if people just stop and think about what's going on, they're like, oh, yeah, okay. But so often we get into that mindset of the TV shows where it's like, oh, it's got to go exactly like this. And there is no variation. And it happens to us too. Dustin Perry and I were filming a project a couple of years ago called Pathways. And it was meant to be an interactive show performance, but we had to record all the investigation bits beforehand. So when we were doing that, both of us unconsciously fell into the network step of things where, okay, we got to film the approach. We got to film us walking to the door. We got to film us entering the place. Then we got to look around and say, hey, what do you think's going on? And we're like, wait a minute, why are we doing this? We don't need to do any of this. Let's just get to it. Spirit knows why we're here. All this lead up, like, is silly. We're wasting our time and we're wasting film. So we not soon enough, but we eventually did switch back to the way we eventually made Pathways, and it was a lot better for that.
Yeah. Understandably. Definitely.
Yeah, again, people watch the TV shows and they're like, okay, we have to do this, and then we've got to do that. They just want to copy what happened, not necessarily have an experience of their own. And if something occurs that wasn't on the show or wasn't in the tour manifesto or wasn't online about this place, they'll say that doesn't make sense. But why wouldn't it? Maybe you're getting new information that can now add to the general story. You're an investigator, aren't you? Investigate.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Has there ever been a investigation that stayed with you till this day? Like something that happened that you just can't explain?
Yeah, plenty. I mean, a lot of them I wrote about in my book, things that at the time baffled me that maybe I got clarification on later on. These days, when I investigate, it's less to prove because I know it exists. I no longer need to prove to myself. I'm no longer a skeptic, so I'm not thinking, oh, I just got to find it. However, when I investigate, I'm looking to quantify. I'm taking the role of the scientist now, where I need to establish certain norms and rules and see how things behave in order to have some sort of repeatability. And the skeptics love to hide behind the scientific repeatability angle, the scientific method, and that, oh, well, it can't be duplicated in the lab. Well, neither can human opinion. We are the X factor of this existence. And you can ask one question, there's 10 people in the room, you'll have 10 different answers because of their individual perspectives. And the paranormal is very much like that, where it can't always be duplicated in that manner because we are the exception to everything. And we are shaping this universe as we're experiencing it. So, I mean, if anyone wants their mind blown, just look up the double slit experiment, where a wave acts a certain way depending on whether we are observing it or not. What? Like that's insane. So take that, and that's very much a very micro observation. Apply that to the universe. Our being here, perhaps consciousness, is holding everything together. So the age-old question: if a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, according to this line of thinking, it doesn't even exist.
That's something to think about.
It's a lot to think about.
That's a lot to think about. Yes.
I wish I could make my taxes go away by just ignoring it.
I don't think it's gonna work.
No.
If it works, message me immediately. I will try.
See, that's the thing. The deeper you get into this, and I'm very big into ufology these days, as well as ghosts and spirits, the understanding of our existence, the understanding of our universe, our place in it, and what's beyond all this advanced knowledge, I still have to pay my taxes. I still have to find a parking space every day. I still have to slog through it with the rest of us. It doesn't give me it doesn't give me a leg up on existence. I look at colleagues of mine who are doing well better in the world than I am. I'm like, oh, you would think that this would come, this knowledge would unlock some Pandora's box of good things, but hey, we all got to go through it.
Exactly. Yeah, some get those deadlock, and others have to work a little bit harder for it.
Indeed.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I don't know if she's in the chat, but Jacqueline went, let me find it, to Ashwell Prison, National Justice Museum, and Derby in the UK. Oh, I put it back.
She changed her hair color. That's why I didn't recognize her.
Ah.
We had dark hair when we were at the Galleries of Justice.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. That was a fun weekend. That was a fun trip. That was on the tail end of my Wales tour back in 2022. So we went everywhere. We explored Wales. Then I went to Stonehenge. It's funny because I went to the UK and I said, you know what? I've got this Welsh tour. Then I have a gig in Nottingham. But I have a week in between that I just have to kick around. I'm going to rent a car and I'm going to drive around and explore. And everyone there's like, oh, you can't do that. Like, why can't I do that? I said, I've never been to Loch Ness. I want to see it. They're like, that's 10 hours from London. I said, do you realize where I could be in 10 hours if I left New York? I could be in Cincinnati. I could be in Boston in 4 hours. Like, the United States, we drive everywhere. So I rented that car. I got on the M5 and I explored up to Manchester. I went to Edinburgh. I went everywhere on the wrong side of the road, doing my thing, shifting with the wrong hands. It was definitely an adventure. I almost died at least once, but there is something to it. You get on those M highways and I'm driving, and I think, wow, I've been on this road for a while now. I should be close. It's probably been like, what, 3 hours? Let me look at the time. I've been driving for 15 minutes. Like, there's a time dilation on those British highways, I tell you.
It has to be that, yes.
That's why they say you can't do that.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That scared the hell out of me.
And I did it on a kind of a rush, because when I got to London, I made an appointment with the SPR to come visit their libraries, the Society for Psychical Research, and they hadn't gotten back to me. So I thought, oh, I guess I won't be seeing the library. All right, I was staying in London. All right, yeah, I can go and visit Loch Ness. So I left on the Monday. I stopped in Manchester. Tuesday, I continue my journey up north. I get the email, oh, you've been approved for a Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. visit to the library. I said, oh, had I known this, I would have stayed in town. Now I'm halfway through. What do I do? I've got to see Loch Ness. So I went up there, spent the night at a quaint, beautiful little cabin. And the next morning I had to wake up, go to the loch, and then rush right back down. Again, that 10 hours back down, I had to rush to get back in time. And again, time was working against me. I'm speeding on these foreign highways. I did get to see Loch Ness, though. Didn't see Nessie, but I had very much an experience where it's first thing in the morning. I'm the only one out there. The Pebble Rock beach of Loch Ness. It's an overcast, typical Scottish morning. And I said, okay, I'm here. And the entire time, the drive from the bed and breakfast to the loch, I had Police's Synchronicity 2 playing. I'm like, yes, here we go. And I get there and I said, well, if there's anything here, can you give me a sign? Just give me a sign, give me something. And no joke, seconds after I said that, the sky opened up, the clouds parted, and a shaft of sunlight hit my position so that my shadow extended all the way into the loch. And I took a picture of it. I was like, all right, thank you.
Nice.
And there was no one around to see it. It was meant just for me. But this, again, is very much like the paranormal. Like, can I prove that happened? No. It's an anecdote. You can choose to believe me or not, but these are the experiences we have, be it in a haunted asylum, a loch up in Scotland, or even just your house.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the most amazing experiences in my eyes. And it's something, like you said, you already believe, so you don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the most amazing thing you can have in my eyes.
I mean, I'm definitely looking to understand. I want a deeper understanding. So that's, I think, where I'm at now. But as far as proof, it's no longer required. Sometimes, and that's the thing, half the places I go to now and most of the locations that I wrote about in my book, I no longer, like, if I tell people, hey, I'm going to this place, like, oh, you're going to investigate? No, I'm going there to hang out with the owner, because you make those connections, you make human connections.
Yeah.
And the paranormal, despite it being a search for the dead, is very much about the living. It's a social thing. And the people who form groups and make friends and have forums and chats and podcasts and shows, we're all, none of this has to do with the dead. It has to do with us. We're interacting right now because of this thing we're all into. And even if we never get any evidence, we're meeting new people. Some people have gotten married because they met on an investigation or on a team. I've had people ask me to marry them, like, oh, we met on your investigation. Can you minister our our ceremony? I'm like, I'm not a minister, but sure, why not? Won't be
That
legal.
is amazing. No, you have to do it again afterwards, but still, I will do it. Yeah, that's cool. That is very cool.
Absolutely, legal or not. That's that's my bucket list.
I mean,
To
I
get
could
married
give
that
you
way.
an urban exploration marriage, because urban exploration, it's technically not legal. You're
Yeah.
not breaking and entering, you're just entering. So as we enter into this bond called marriage, none of it is legal. We are here in an abandoned building.
Really
One way
cool.
or another, you have to make a movie out of that, even just for fun.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It is fun. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
when I'm on the road going to a location, going to a Paracon, going to something like, all right, just this past weekend, I was at Lilydale Assembly in New York with John Zaffis, Dustin Perry, and just going there, I was excited to see friends again. I was excited to see a place I'd never been to before. That wonder that you have as a kid going to new places, that's what the paranormal has given back to me. It's given me back that sense of wonder, both in the world and the universe being a much more exciting place than my college self had come to believe, and the fact that, all right, I'm 51 years old and I'm still having adventures with my friends. You know,
That is,
that's I'm
Yeah.
blessed for that.
yeah,
As much aggravation as the paranormal field does give me, and believe me, can be aggravating, I always have to stay thankful and aware of that fact that I
yeah,
get to do this. Not that I have to do this, I get
Yeah.
to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's wonderful. We don't have those events here in the Netherlands, but in the UK they have. And we try and go over there and to meet up with people. So we know the feeling if you meet some of the online friends. And Nick is loving it. He's looking forward to it, to meeting you and other investigators. So
Nick is the patch man. Nick is he's got
yeah,
this vest and it's got
yeah.
patches of everything. Like, he is like the NASCAR driver of the paranormal. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he's out of room on the front and the back. And anytime I go to, and actually I started collecting patches because of him. I'm not going to put it on a vest, but I used to collect pins or magnets. But now I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get some patches, and maybe one day I'll put all the patches from places I've been to on something.
on the wall
Yeah, who knows?
of your office. But everyone knows him, the Patches man.
Yeah.
He's really a great guy. Now, I heard you're going to Ireland.
I am. I mean, I'm thinking internationally now, since you mentioned the Netherlands, and I've the only time I've ever been to Amsterdam is stopping over my flights, and I wish there were more events in different places that could invite us so we can go to. But this October and November, I will be leading a group to Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, for a Mysterious Adventures tour. This is the same company that I took to Wales and had amazing adventures and great times, indelible memories. And because Ireland is where it kind of all began, Samhain and the Puka Festival, this is kind of the home of Halloween. So on October 31st, we're going to be investigating Lep Castle. It'll be
Oh
my
my
first
God.
time there. So again, I'm excited. I'm giddy. I'm going to investigate a haunted castle on Halloween, and you can join.
That is
And you
amazing.
can join me.
Well, I know Mrs. Shane is going over to Ireland, and I still haven't booked. So I, I think Jenny is also driving over to Lab
Lab
Castle
Castle, yes.
around the period. So
I thought she's going to do Halloween in Lab Castle, so
yeah,
If she is, she's got to do it with me. I'll be seeing her, because that's our time. And I mean, again, the overlapping of the time, the place, the reason. In the West, there's a lot of skepticism. A lot of people just don't believe. But all right, here in Ireland, yeah, it's just a part of life. It's just a part of existence. And I'm looking to take some of that perspective, some of that attitude back with me, where we're not always questioning, but more accepting of these things. And I think if we can move in a little more spiritual direction, because we are spirit, we might have a little easier time in this realm. So we're all having a hard time right now, and there's got to be a better way.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any projects coming up, events?
I'm always doing something and I'm always somewhere. The best way to keep up with the things I'm doing is to go to my website, neverstopsearching.com. But if you want a deeper dive and a deeper connection to help me with my projects and the things I'm doing, I do have a Patreon page. And that's patreon.com/Brian J. Cano. And I believe, actually, I think some of them might be watching the show right now. It helps me get projects done. I have a bi-weekly podcast called Tuesday Night Bri. It helps me fund my History of the Paranormal mobile exhibit, as well as any other video projects I'm doing, or things like Pathways with Dustin Perry. And at the highest tier, I call that my apprentice level, for those people really wanting to learn and who are serious about this. Whether you want to learn parapsychology, little delve into ufology, a ghost hunting 101, a tech revision, I am there to be your personal professor. So you sign up, you decide what you want to learn, and it's like a college course for one. I draw up a syllabus and say, okay, month by month, this is how we're going to do it. And you get a 1-hour call with me every month to go over and to learn about these topics. And it's like learning at will. So you could start on the parapsychology track, switch over to philosophy, come on back to ghost hunting. It's a la carte and it's at will. And I've had some apprentices that have been, actually a lot of them right now are on the UFO track.
Cool.
That's very cool.
So
Yeah.
cool. That's
So
really
we're gonna share your website, of course, so they can. A link for Patreon is on there, right?
It should be. When you first get there, I think it's there's a link that says like join my community or something like that.
All right. So
I'm horrible promoting myself, so it's just like,
we'll try doing it for you then.
If you find me, you find me. I'm around.
We will find you.
Yeah, we will find you. And it's all about you and what you're doing and getting you more followers and more people get to know you, especially here in the Netherlands, because they need someone.
I've been wanting to come to the Netherlands so badly for so long. I've got a friend out there and she's always like, she goes to a lot of fan cons, but I'm like, okay, come to my event. No, I can't. Come to my event. No, I can't. Unless it's in the UK. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to come to the Netherlands. I'm going to have to come all the way to you to make this happen.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah, we have nice castles.
Yes, we do.
I like those.
Yeah, and a lot of war grounds and casemates, bunkers, all that kind of stuff. So it's a nice place, but you don't need much time. I think if you take a week, you have seen the most of it because we are tiny.
Yes. You drive around the country in 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing bad about that. I don't mind it because, again, I'm a person that, again, I'll make connections everywhere I go. But there's only so many weekends in a year. So how do I maintain these relationships and keep going back to the places that I love while still exploring new ones? So as small as the world has become, it's still a very big place. And I want to see it all.
Yeah, understandably.
Yes, I know.
So a 3-hour country, yeah, that's great. Let's do it all. Let's see it all. You guys should hold a little conference hosted and based on the radio show, so all the listeners can come We can do this and just have a good time. And again, it's that social component that how else would we have met if not for this?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
always
Yeah,
find that so fascinating.
yeah, and a little bit of Nick.
Yeah, but he's part of the community, so
He is. And sometimes I take advantage of him and smiling sweet. This time you have two tasks. And here we are again.
Here we
Yeah,
are.
yeah, exactly. Is there something that we didn't discuss and you love to share with us, the people in the chat and our listeners?
This would have to be like an 8-hour show to even crack the surface of everything in the paranormal that we could talk about. But I guess I will leave everybody with just the message that we are here in this place doing what we can to get through it. So we're living a human, and to kind of borrow and paraphrase from my buddy Dustin, we're going through this human experience, but we're spirits in a physical world, and let's be better to each other. Let's help each other out. Let's make that effort to stay positive. I'm a cynical New Yorker, so I have the hardest time with that. So if everyone around me is a little more positive, I could be more positive, and then we can help each other. We could all rise. We can all be better together. And if it's all you hear in the paranormal all the time and in metaphysical circles, it's about raising the vibration. Well, baby, let's raise it. This is no time like the present. And as my website says, never stop searching.
no, exactly. Agreed. I think Mary is stuck.
I froze her. She's so like,
Oh, she left. She left us. She
because
left us. Well,
she's starting today. She's not waiting for tomorrow. She's like, I'm gonna make a difference right now.
goodbye. Exactly.
I'm gonna go start a paper route.
I was thrown out. Oh my God.
No
We
more
were
podcasts for
we
you.
were just-
Okay, okay. What did I miss?
well, we were actually talking about you making a change right now. You're gone. Goodbye.
Yeah, she's starting today. She's starting right now. No time like the present. Carpe diem.
I really thought, what is happening? What is happening? So I had to re-enter the studio to get in. Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
god.
Is that a lily on your wall?
Yes, I think so.
As I was just in Lily Dale. So again, these connections, it's all connected.
Yeah, it's a water lily.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's a
love
small
them.
world. It's a
Yeah,
small world.
Very small. It is a
the
small world after
small
all.
signs that you get. Uh, well, I'm out of questions. And how about you, Shane?
Same.
Yeah, you told us so much. So, in the near future, we are going to do another live and we are going to get Nick in. Are you prepared to come back?
I would love to. Anytime, just ask.
We
I
will.
will. I will. I will. So, I want to thank you for doing this with us and telling so much. I will put every link in the comments. After I post it on YouTube, I will put the links in as well. So everyone will find you and they have to go to Ireland with
They've got to go.
Halloween.
They've got to go to Ireland. But thanks for having me on, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for
It
coming
was
on.
indeed, indeed, indeed. Yes, Nick is saying I'm in. So it's a deal. It's a date. So we're setting a date for next year and we talk about it afterwards with Nick.
Sounds
Yes, we
good.
will.
Thanks. And it was really, really, really fun.
It
Thank you,
definitely
guys.
was. Thank you so
So
much.
I put you in the background and I'm saying Thank you for watching, for joining, commenting.
Thank you for listening.
Exactly. Next week we are back, and next week we have another amazing guest, Dave Schrader.
Yep. Davey
So
Dave.
everyone has to join again. So we do the microwave. Bye. See you next
Bye.
week.
See you later.
Nice.
Thanks for watching. We hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe.